Hey, Syrphx. Oh, it's not Syrphx. Pepper Hands.
Pepe hands. Dude, my team owned your team.
Oh, and Mini, yeah. You guys played. They played really well. Well, it was a combination of us just playing badly as well. I think we played really badly.
Game 1, I did not expect Timbers, so I was just like, oh fuck, and I just left the voice.
Yeah, we just played really terribly.
Can confirm.
Yeah. I don't know. I hadn't played though in a couple of days, and my head wasn't really in the game, so I just didn't play well. And I felt like I threw the game in game 1 by skilling 1. I put 2 points in my battle hunger instead of getting a point in call, and then I literally threw the game. So feels good, man.
Don't know if that threw you the game since it was
No, it really did.
Game.
No, it really did.
All right, if you say so. Syrphx, how you been?
Sorry.
No, sleep deprived.
Nice.
Why? What's been going on? Been happening?
I'm into sleep yet. I'm staying up, trying to fix my sleep schedule.
Oh dear.
Top 10 sleep deprivation methods. How to sleep better, Syrphx. Here we go. Avoid light disruption like a podcast. Find an agreeable temperature. Syrphx, do you find an agreeable temperature? You know what? Actually, fuck that, man. I hate some days when I sleep, it just sucks because it's too hot outside, but it's too cold inside, right? Or vice versa. Or like it's too cold on the inside and too hot on the outside. So you can't like take the cover off or put it on. You're just stuck there and you're in limbo and you're like, fuck, I can't sleep. Does that ever happen to you?
No. I'm a consistent warm sleeper, so I'll always, if anything, I'll just be too hot, so I'll always take the duvet off or something to that effect.
Oh, I don't know, man. Like sweating sweating when you're sleeping is just a horrible feeling.
Oh
Like
yes.
2 weeks ago, that was so bad. I was sweating so bad in my sleep. So bad. Syrphx, what do you do
Do what? Sorry.
when you sleep?
When I what?
When you sleep, are you like a cold sleeper, a warm sleeper, a sweaty sleeper?
I think it depends. Like I have a fan like next to me. Sometimes I'll turn it on if I get too warm, and other times I'll just not have to use it because I'll be fine. You know.
Wait, so you sleep with a fan on?
Yeah. It's very quiet.
How do you? Oh, okay, it's very quiet. I was about to say because I tried to sleep with a fan one time, and it was unbearable. Like the noise was just too much to handle.
Such, bro.
I can do it if I'm napping, but the whole night, because I find that I want it to be on me all the time when I'm napping, but I'm only gonna nap for like an hour or two, and then but if it's if it's a long period of time, I feel like it would eventually annoy me. How do you guys feel about when there's lights in your bedroom? There's like a little desk light on. Can you guys cope with that when you're trying to sleep?
I have to have everything off. I like even some days when it's like that bad, I have to like because my mouse is like a RGB mouse, but it turns off when I turn off my PC. Sometimes it doesn't for some reason. I don't know why. I have to manually get up and unplug my mouse just so I don't see any light in my room. It has to be just pure darkness for me to sleep.
See, I get that, but I actually get a really great feeling when there's like a light on, but it's gonna switch off, and it's
like
on for
super dim.
No, it's on for like a minute, right?
Oh, okay.
And it's gonna switch off. It's like you flick it on, and then it has like a timer, and then it goes off again. I love sitting in my bed, waiting for the light to go off, and then it goes all dark. I'm like, yes, thank you.
You can Pavlov's conditioning. You just conditioned yourself.
It's very cool.
So when lights turn off, you just go into a coma.
Yeah, and are you like a front? Do you sleep on your front, your side, or your back?
Side and front, I think. Side, mainly side, but then I wake up on my front somehow. That's sort of.
Yeah, I'm a front and side sleeper. I used to be front only, but then I got fat and it got comfortable enough to like be on my side, so it's good.
Syrphx, how do you sleep? If you do sleep, that is. Or when you sleep, I should say. He's probably already passed out, actually.
No, I'm here. Sorry, I was messaging Mint on Instagram.
Oh, classic.
No, I was meant to be doing something for the clarity side stuff, and
Yeah.
I said I'd be there, but I'd be very 2 IQ because I haven't slept.
Yeah, and then you draft and you pick a really weird draft.
And then I said there's a very real possibility I might fall asleep, and
Yeah.
I missed a load of messages from Mint and from Napper. So Mint messaged me on Instagram saying, "Go wake up, Napper need you. It's life or death." Well, guess it's too late now.
So what is like? How do you sleep though? When you sleep, do you sleep face down, face side?
On my side, I try and do the like it's like scientifically proven or some shit, right? That the best sleep, like way to sleep is in like the what's it called, the fetal position or whatever. So I try and do that.
Really? What do you mean, like the fetal position with like your hands over your knees, or like? Wait.
No, it's like
Sleep fetal.
Oh
position.
yeah, on your side. Yeah, on your side.
Oh,
That's
that's
head on the pillow. Yeah, on your side.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
knees kind of not. If you put your legs flat out, you roll, right?
yeah.
Your knees are there just to give you a bit of balance. But that's why being fat has actually helped me a little bit.
Oh, because it's like
my
an anchor.
my belly just kind of also helps that, so I can kind of stretch my legs just like a little bit more. I'm a
Nice.
balanced guy. It's pretty nice actually. To be honest. Doesn't sound right, but it is. Okay. Gotta trust me on this. I was thinking. I just went to the toilet just then.
Mhm.
What would be? You had to design a video game, right? That's your job.
Oh
That's
yeah.
that's your job. What would be like your perfect game? Okay, now I don't want you to say like Dota 3 or just
No,
BDO or whatever.
no,
I want you to give me the criteria that would make it the perfect game for you.
Give me some mix of an MMO between like World of Warcraft and Black Desert Online, and I'd actually just fucking come. I don't know.
Straight up on the spot, just come.
Well, yeah, because I was thinking I think I'm kind of the same, but honestly.
Like, give me Black Desert Combat, give me World of Warcraft Raids, give me Final Fantasy Story. You've got the best MMO ever made right there.
So what? Just an MMO?
No. But the thing about MMOs is they kind of suck, right?
Yeah, something I'm trying to get to. Like
yeah, but what Syrphx kind of echoing what I was thinking as well is like I want a game. I want a game where like have you guys like where the story is good and where I can play with my friends and it's actually good and interactive for us. So I was thinking of like an up to 8 player multiplayer game, right? But if you don't have 8 people, you've got 4. The game scales the game to be as difficult, but just for 4 people. If you're playing it on your own, same kind of concept. And it's an open world RPG, and it's basically like and you got to go run around and do quests together and level up, and then you get like reputation for being a cool gang and stuff. And I think that'd be dope.
I think for like the most semi or somewhat engaging game, or like a game that would just be good as a game, would be. So how am I going to phrase this? So like, there's a lot of variables, but also it's always engaging. Would be a D&D style game with some like D&D style game with combat elements of Dark Souls and an MMO. So that way, there's huge multiplayer. That can also be done single player because it's like a D&D style of game. And by that I mean like the leveling system is D&D inspired. There's rolls, there's chances, and like you could get item drops that increase your roll chance and shit like that. But there's some like actual. It's not just a like roll dice, get X, you win fight sort of deal where like there's actual like, combat involved, and that would be like the Dark Souls side or like I guess instead of saying Dark Souls because it's kind of cringe, like Link or Legend of Zelda series type combat, where it's kind of like over the shoulder combat. with
Yeah.
factors that are like involved with D&D. And it also just means there's customization and grind that I like. I like grinding customization because usually all the sick armor sets are behind like a huge like achievement grind, and that's fun to me. And because then like you had a story behind getting this super cool like fashion piece that you can put into your cool looking set, and
Yeah.
and booba, and that's it. That's all I want,
Yeah.
and I'm
And
set.
then it
Because like
just becomes pay to win, so you can pay for the armor sets. Kick
No,
W.
but they're cosmetic.
Mhm.
I
That's
also
it.
think that like a lot of games have had like elements of these things and been very close to achieving this. For example, I think what's that game? What's that game? The space one where it's like procedurally generated. What's that called?
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Yeah, like I think that almost had some really cool things. Like I love the procedural generation. I love the fact that you can build bases on planets that you go to, that you can name planets, that if you find something new, you can name it. I love all that. But then when they marketed it as, oh yeah, you can play with your friends, and you couldn't, kind of a big problem there.
It's grown huge. It's actually a really good game now. They've done enough.
I know. I played it like maybe last year, maybe the year before, when
There's
they just
more.
added when they
There's
added
more
like
now.
multiplier and stuff. It's really cool.
There's way more now. There's huge
Like-
amounts.
Like I think that it's actually close to being a really legitimate game. And I don't know. I feel like that game was really close to being excellent. And I feel like if imagine like 20 of you decided just to play it, I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But you know, it's hard to kind of commit to that kind of thing. And I'm always afraid to like sell a game to my friends because I've done it before. You know, I've said, "Oh, guys, we really need to get this game. It's gonna be awesome. We'll all play it together. You know, we'll do lots of it'll be this, it'll be that. We'll be able to play it and we'll be able to be fun and have a great time." And then they get it, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's always. I think that happens with us as well. There's this one friend who usually gets the game way later than everyone else. Like either a few months, like for Dota, like it was like a year or two after we all played, or with other games, it's like maybe a month or two passes, and then he gets it and plays with us. And then we play with him for about a week, and then everyone just becomes disinterested in the game, not because of him, but just because of the timing that he joins.
Yeah,
And
see,
it just feels sucky for him.
See, I'm the guy who's like, oh yeah, let's all go get this game. That's me. I'm the guy who's like trying to convince everyone
Trying to
to
convince
go
everyone
get
to
it.
spend money.
Hey, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I like how
shame.
we all described like comfy games. So like, I think if I was to actually make a game that would be designed to engage me and be like invested in, I would honestly say something more competitive, but something that I could always fall back on, never feel shit about, always have something to do would be like an MMO D&D style. But I think if it was like for an engaging game for me, it would be something with some competitive or skill based aspect to it. I think because that's what really like gets my brain juices flowing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that Dota is like potentially I think in terms of like watchability is one of the best type of games
Yeah.
because it's third person. It's like I don't know. I've maybe said this before, but I feel like Counter-Strike and that it's hard to fully grasp what everyone's doing all the time. But in Dota, you can really easily see the skill of every player, which I really really like, and I think makes it incredibly engaging when you know what you're looking at.
Sorry, I'm paying attention to Draft Cup while this is happening. I'm looking at the teams. I'm getting kind
Oh,
of
is this
upset.
Clarity Draft Cup?
No, I should have been the one drafting for that. I just missed the messages. Whoops.
Yeah, the number one is pretty crap. There's like 4 teams.
Yeah, I saw it and I just thought I didn't want to. I feel that way when you kind of feel bad about Dota and you feel like you're gonna play badly.
Yeah.
So you get like nervous about signing up for stuff. That's kind of how I feel
I
right
never
now.
play badly.
Well, I do, and I feel kind of I feel kind of nervous about signing up for stuff right now because
And even when I do play badly, I have my Chad carry player called Mint to carry me. That's all it is.
Yeah, I kind of just get in this kind of like I feel like I don't know what it is, but some games I feel like I'm moving around the map, I'm getting stuff done, I'm acing it. But then in other games, I'm like, I feel turgid and lethargic, and feel like I
Just
can't
life.
get moving,
Uh,
and all those kind of things. I don't know. It's just
Is there is an offline player, Mario? I feel like one piece of advice it'd be to play around car timings a lot more.
Mhm.
So it's like I noticed a lot of lower MMR people don't really think about it, right? But if you start prepping to take so let's say you're playing some like Timbersaw here, right? You wanna be ideally you wanna be level 5 at 5 minutes, right? So you tell your phosphor to piss off so you get some solo XP. And then you start diving the carry, assuming it's a good matchup. And then you hopefully force him away, and then you glyph and use your 5 minute cat to kill the tower. Then you go do the same thing 10 minutes and the same thing 15 minutes. And a lot of people in like lower MI don't know how to deal with it.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel. Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, you're right. Card timing is something I'm not very great with. I'm just about, I'm not very great with a lot of things, so I'm not gonna. But yeah, it is. But yeah, I feel like you're right in terms of like if you look at the games that I've played the most of, I've obviously played the most in Dota. So shouldn't that be my ideal game? But
Yeah.
it's not because it's. I don't think it's because it's my ideal game. I think it's just because it's got the most replayability out of pretty much
Yeah,
every
I'd
game I
agree. It's
own.
very like every like when you load into a game, every game is probably going to be different or slightly different to the one you just played.
And that's, I mean, well, no, it will be. It will be. I think the statistical facts about Dota are crazy, like in terms of how much, in terms of like how, uh, like many variations on one game there can be. Like it's more than feasible, fathomable.
Yeah. What do you think, Takeshi?
Well, think about it. Think about the think about every. Think about how many different combinations you can get of 100.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think
112
Yeah, but
heroes
at
is
the same
crazy.
time, do you not ever get the feeling like I sometimes get this feeling? It's like let's say I play like two heroes in a row. Like for example, let's say I play this Timbersaw hero, right? 2 games in a row. I know what my job is, and it tends to be. I feel like the game is very similar.
I think it's just pattern recognition because basically it's the same thing that's happening every game, right? No
Yeah, I
matter how
guess
you
you're
look at it, it's the same thing. Like laning stage, mid game, Roche at some point. It's just the way, the nature you do it, timing of when you do it, stuff like that, that changes, which causes variability. Otherwise, it's literally just the same thing over and over again, and that's why people get good at it. But it's the human factor, I'd say, that makes it so different every time. Because 2X players aren't going to play a lane the same way,
Yeah, I
and they're not
guess
going
you're
to
not
play
wrong.
the mid game the same way, and that's what makes it interesting and not boring per se. Although it is kind of boring when you realize that. I think if you sometimes I get bored because like after playing a lot, I realize it's just the same shit of like
Yeah.
what's gonna happen next, then what's gonna
Well, I
happen
mean,
next, and then what's gonna happen next.
Dota as a concept should be very simple, right? The game should be very simple. You take all the outer towers, you go win a fight, you go roach, you take all the outer towers, you siege high ground, you lose Aegis, you go take a fight, you go get Aegis again, you go win. Like as a concept, it should be very easy, right? But it's the human factor of every player that makes the game hard.
And I feel like it's not like I don't feel like it's necessarily like that because you got to there's just so many factors. Like what if they've got someone who's just like 5,000 MMR better than you on the other team? They're just gonna do it better. They're gonna do everything better, and you're not gonna have that opportunity to play like that. Like the way you have to play is gonna change based on who's in the game, what hero matchups there are, like what heroes your team has. Like if you've got, you know, like what if you've got a techies for example, it's going to change how you operate. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Same thing with CS:GO. I think it's worse than CS:GO.
you think?
What the whole like the way the game plays and stuff. Yeah, I'd say so.
Well, I can't imagine it would be.
Yeah,
There's-
because there's no difference in like heroes and abilities and shit that you need to learn. It's literally just 5 guys with 2 gun choices. So there's a pistol round, an eco round, or semi-buy round, and then rifle rounds. And that's
Yeah,
it.
so
That's all
that
the
means-
diversity in the people are. And then all that's left is positions on the map. And there's 2 bomb sites, a middle section, and 2 areas to get to the middle section and to the bomb sites. If you just map it all out, you can just it just feels so it feels like a replay almost. And then the only difference is if people miss their shots, land their shots, where people are in each round, and that's the human element. But it's so much more obvious about like how it's the same game over and over in CS:GO.
well, that's what I. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that CS:GO is way more diverse than Dota.
No. I was zoning out the whole time. I was saying, well, I was trying to say it wasn't, but I think I didn't say it right. It's way less diverse. Sorry.
Classic. Sorry.
I think that's the thing is that's Dota's gimmick, right? That it is very diverse. Compare that to like League and other MOBAs.
Well,
That's what I
maybe.
think.
Yeah,
Like-
I mean, maybe.
No other game has pulls. No other games have like creep aggro to the same extent. No other games have like cart timings. Like
They're nice.
there's no other I don't think there's a MOBA that's as popular or near popular where like the whole strat is you buy a helm first item, drag like 4 waves into the safe lane, and bring your carry there to farm them, and that's your job as like a pos 3 Tide. That's what like 33 did in like 2 games in a row. Bought helm, dragged like a million waves, and gave them to his Battle
I
Fury
would
carry.
off myself if that was what I was forced to do.
But like no, like League, you would never do that, right? That's just not physically an idea to do.
But then that's not the norm. That's 33 using initiative, using his knowledge of the game, abusing a mechanic, thinking about. He's also thinking about what the other team is gonna do to react to that, and he'll have practiced that a couple of times. I think that kind of thing is amazing, and like whenever you see stuff like that, like remember when Anna at TI, I think it was TI 8 maybe, brought out the IO carry, and everyone was like, "What the?" Like everyone's mind was blown at this IO carry thing, and then it put it said like longest win streak with this hero. It was like 89 games or something like that. Like and then he just crushed. And I love that. I love that. There's these things in the game that's why I think that's why OG are kind of romanticized a bit. They're not my favorite team, but that's why they're romanticized a lot, is because they often find very abusable mechanics within the game and do that, and they win, and no one knows how to stop it because that's just their thing. That's like their little moment.
It's like the next level of cheese almost.
Yeah, I mean maybe the right word is gimmick though. You know.
Oh great! I get to play against the strong team at the start. Nice in draft comp. Nice.
Oh, wait, you signed up, Takeshi?
Yeah, I did.
Who's in your team?
I don't know. Joanna, Tammy, Icon, and Water.
That's not a terrible team.
Versus
What-
Mint's team.
what's
Have
the
you
other
seen
team?
Mint's team? Mint's team is Raptus, SMMN, Jihadi, Mint, and Throng.
All right, they're winning.
How did Raptus, including him, get 4 high level 5k, low level 6k? How? Before even? How?
I didn't even realize my boy Mint signed up.
Why is this such an unbalanced team? Why is there so many high 5ks on that team?
Well,
What?
welcome
Mint-
to the
Mint-
draft where people
bro.
don't know how to do it properly.
My Mint is such a Chad, bro. He's the highest MR on that team. What a fucking Chad.
I do like Mint actually. He's really nice.
Yeah, he's a nice guy as well.
He's been really really nice to me. Like sometimes I've
Bro,
he backed me
for
up.
31 coins. I feel like that's an undervalue.
Mintington's is a beast.
Wait,
Because
Takeshi, you went for 30? How did Mint go for 1 more coin than you?
I don't know. I would say that Reddit post was kind of cringe, but you know,
Well,
What
shit,
Reddit
I wondered, did
post?
he ever reply to my message that I put in there?
I don't know. He made a Reddit post saying he got ranked immortal.
Who?
Mint.
One sec, I want to know. Did he ever reply to what I said in his Reddit thread?
I don't know. I don't check Reddit.
I'm checking right now.
I'm not an orbiter. It's like,
Bro.
is
Let
that
me
what you
check.
use
If you
Reddit
didn't
for?
reply, I'll
Just-
be very sad.
I,
Oh, you did?
if I got an achievement, I don't know if I'd post it on Reddit. I don't think it's worth Reddit's. I don't think it's worth it in like that kind of time. But apparently, it's a popular thing. Like I've seen multiple posts now like that where people post their
Yeah,
ranking.
people
in
tend
Reddit.
to do it, right?
Yeah, I don't get that.
I mean,
Get it.
Oh
I
shit!
mean, think
it
about
wasn't even fucking Mint that responded. It was fucking Ace.
You're saying
But-
where?
I think if you work towards a goal, it's fine.
NaCl.
Yeah, that's true. NACU.
Yeah, I said in the post, why is your offlaner in RD12 Wednesday so good? And then fucking Ace says because he plays like a human.
I find it funny how some games are way more popular in some countries than others. Like, why?
I love that.
I love it, but it's also very like cool because it makes you realize how small of a person you are, right? Like there's like entire worlds in other countries, like of people doing their own thing with their own like reasonings as to why they play and stuff, and it's like it's really inspiring. Well, not inspiring, I guess, just like just awe. Like like there's a whole community in the Philippines of playing Dota 2, and I wonder if they're like actually nice people, or if they will just shit talk each other all day and what do they think is good? Do they actually think like Bristleback Ags is busted or not? Like that sort of shit.
Yeah, that I that's what I love, like the regional like part of Dota, how like some regions really value X and some regions really value Y.
Yeah.
I think that's fascinating because I think over like especially here we're like very set in like, oh yeah, this is the meta hero. This is how you play. When it's not like that at all, actually. It's way more free than that.
Well, I'd want to extrapolate that to just games rather than just like heroes and
Okay.
shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like I don't know, like League's super popular in South Korea. Or League's popular everywhere. Actually, maybe League is a bad example. What's like a good example? Like I guess FIFA's like the UK game, right?
Oh yeah.
That is the UK game. And then like
Unfortunately.
what would be like because apparently like Spanish YouTube's huge, like massive. Spanish
Well,
YouTube is insanely big. Like
I mean, if you go to Twitch and you look at if you go to like the homepage on Twitch and you look at who's like all the top streamers, all of it's like Portuguese.
yeah, like what do
Spanish,
they play? What do
German,
they do? That's
you know.
that's like what's it what's it about Spain? Like what games is it? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Well,
Games.
I have to ask someone.
Yo,
Maybe
Else.
it's not the games. Maybe it's
Have
the
to ask El
personality.
Nino. Yeah.
True. Is El Nino Brazilian or Spanish?
No, he's Spanish. He's Spanish.
I thought there was a Brazilian.
I don't know. I'm like very sure that El Nino's Spanish.
Yeah, video games. Also, it's like crazy how many people are in the world because there's like so many video games that exist. There's so many people are playing them and populating servers, and it's like, bruh, how many people are on planet Earth? What?
Yeah, man. There'll still be people playing Dota 1. Like, you'll still be able to comfortably go and find a Dota 1 game.
Yes. And yet there's no hot singles in my area. What's going on?
Where's
I'm the hot single in your area.
in your area?
That is true, Syrphx. You are a hot single.
I'm on my way, baby.
B. Alright, B. I'll be ready for you, B.
We can make the ultimate plan. We can make Mazli jealous so he finally reveals his feelings for you.
Oh, okay. Is this some weird fanfiction, Syrphx, you got going?
It's some weird headcanon I have about you guys.
Some yaoi fanfic.
Yeah, it's some weird like headcanon fanfic that I have about you guys.
And Syrphx learns how to draw and he makes a manga of RD2Lers and their love triangles and shit. That'd be insane. That'd be so funny if you put that much effort in and you made like in clarity like an entire manga.
Bro, I don't have that much skill
Free time?
in drawing, so it wouldn't work.
Well, you have for the free time. Free time is skill technically, right?
I mean, I guess.
You could do
Need
it,
to level up my
Free
drawing
time
skill
is
first.
skill.
right? Like, because you could spend that time on a skill.
I feel like you're right, but I also feel like you shouldn't be right.
Yeah, but that's the psychopath way, right?
Maybe,
like,
maybe it's motivation is
yeah,
is skill.
motivation. I guess, but
Or
like that's like the psychopath way. It's like no fun, only skill development and work. Like that, like
yeah.
no alone time, just either drawing or sleeping or eating or working.
I don't know. Sometimes I think work is a good thing. I think a routine and I think work is something that humans are designed to do.
Yeah.
I think without work, humans are less happy. And
Well,
maybe
yeah,
that's
'cause
a bit, maybe that doesn't sound right, but I think that if you're in a work where you enjoy yourself, where you feel like supported and encouraged to use skills that you've got, I feel like that's good. I feel like that's something that should be um promoted, not looked. Yeah, not. But then again, there's probably less jobs that exist like that
there we
than
go.
there are the other way in terms of jobs that exist that are boring and whatever.
Thank you.
What? What's
I
happening?
just I was just laughing because I just ruined your entire train of thought.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh man, I think the thing I think have I said this before? I think I have. Like I had a realization where it's like because I was looking at this artist, right? Because I sometimes get emails from a designer who does like art tutorials. Because being a designer is about art, even though I didn't do art, right? There's like an element of art involved. I don't have to do that part per se, but it's good to have that skill.
Mhm.
And I was looking, I was like, how the fuck does he enjoy this? Just sitting on his own, just looking at a piece of paper and like wasting this lead onto a piece of paper and shit. And I
Mhm.
realized like, oh, that's just his version of me playing like 4 hours of Guild Wars and Dota 2 in a day.
Yeah,
It's like
man.
his version of that. And I realized like, oh, that's why people can have fun and do things that aren't gaming. Oh. And I was like, oh fuck. Why did I choose games? Why couldn't I have done something else? But I think that big realization made me just like it just blew my mind actually that like yeah, if you just take away the games and replace it with something else, it's basically exactly what I do.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
do you
course.
feel like this is a weird question, I guess, or well, a deep question? So let's say we took gaming away from you. Do you feel like it's that big of a part of your identity that you'd feel lost in some aspect?
Now, yeah, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago or 5 years ago, no, but now probably yeah, because I don't know what I'd fill it with. I think back like maybe 4 or 3 years ago, I'd know what I'd fill it with, right? But now I don't know what I'd fill it with. I'd say 3 years ago just because I had uni, and then I'd use one of my skills at uni and just use that as like a hobby instead. And I'd say 5 years ago because like the world was kind of like a mini oyster, and I could just pick anything instead of games and just do that, right? But now I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. Actually, what would you do, Moya?
I would. I do lots of stuff outside of video games. You know, I'm very musical. I do lots of music stuffs across the town, I guess.
Yeah. So would you or
Um,
wouldn't you say it's part of your identity then?
oh, it's a really big part of my identity, but it's not. I don't think I'm actually that tied to anything in terms of like it would ruin me. I don't think anything would ruin me in that sense. I
Nomad.
that I think as long as you don't take everything away, then actually that's a bit of a lie. So I remember I was dating this girl a wee while back, and she said something to the effect of, "Oh, if we were to get married, maybe you could sell your computer to buy my wedding ring,
What the fuck?
right?"
What the fuck? What?
Um, well, there's a longer story behind it. There's a longer story behind it, but I'll just in terms of like when her parents were young, her dad had sold her dad had sold his bike that he really loved to buy this house, to buy this wedding ring for her mum. So she kind of was like in this mode of expectations that were kind of mismatched, which is what I felt. But I said no, I don't feel like I should have to compromise on this. And maybe that's me not willing to give it up, but I feel like you shouldn't need to compromise things that you enjoy and love in a relationship like that. But did it say something about me that I wasn't willing to give it up? Maybe, you know.
And that's all subjective, isn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause I'd probably be like, yeah, that's weird, and then to her it's like, oh no, he doesn't like me. Oh, and Syrphx is too busy like dozing off to know what he would do. But
I mean, I think her expectations were just too high for that particular.
yeah, it's very that's very strange.
But I tell you what, it's hard to find gamers. Like I wish for nothing more than for my partner, whoever it's going to be to be someone who just likes to sit and who can just occupy themselves for a couple hours, or likes to play games. Because
Well-
I would happily play any game that my partner enjoyed.
Well, mobile games count as being
Yeah,
a game, apparently.
Yeah,
So-
if they you know, I would love to share that with them because I enjoy that. And I think that's a good thing.
Whoa, play Clash of Clans together. Whoa.
Hey man, don't knock it till you try it. Okay.
True. Is Syrphx actually dead?
I'm here.
Okay, there we go. Do you think gaming's part of your identity then?
Not really.
Alright.
And how can you say that? What would you say is bigger parts of identity slash? How would you describe? How would you
Cricket.
describe your identity?
Cricket.
Cricket, mate.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I'd say I do more. I'd say I nowadays I do more of that than I do of actually playing games.
Hog.
Is that just because of the time of year, though, or is that
Not really?
fair?
There's like indoor cricket venues on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to play
Indoor
for-
everything now.
Welcome to the modern day 2020.
So maybe I need an identity.
Well, no, I mean,
maybe.
like, if I didn't play video games, what would I do? I'd read probably a lot more than I do. Even though I really enjoy reading, I'd probably get into stuff like, I'd probably do a lot more like exercise. I'd probably
Don't say politics. Don't say politics.
no. When I say read, I mean read like fantasy and
Yeah.
and fiction and that kind of thing, because that's kind of my jam. I think I'd probably end up doing like, I don't know what the word is. I'd probably end up like just pursuing random passions and hobbies. Like last like in the first lockdown, I decided I was going to write a novel.
Yeah.
I think have I said this before?
Yes. I think you
Yes.
have, yeah.
I'd probably do more stuff like that, or I'd write some music, or you know, I don't know, probably be a little bit more social. But then again, this is me in summertime. When I'm at work at school, I'm knackered like 90% of the time. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And then just come home and flop on my bed. So
Plop.
yeah.
Rough balancing that stuff out.
But then I think as I do more years of teaching and get a little bit more comfortable with it, I think I can like have a bit of a better work-life balance. But because I'm right at the beginning of my teaching career, I'm kind of all like full in on, I need to make sure it's all good and work really hard.
And then you'll end up as that guy that just sits in the like at the desk, doesn't even do anything, it just tells them to use the textbook or something.
Well, I mean, I do primaries. I actually can't do that, unfortunately.
Oh, all right.
Because yeah, it's a lot more free in primary school in term. It's better and it's worse because it means that like there's nothing specific that you've got to get done in terms of like, here's like a syllabus that you need to make sure you get through. But there is like, there's obviously like they in Scotland they call them experiences and outcomes is what the name is for the kind of things that you've got to have the kids accomplish. But there's no like, okay, here's the textbook that you got to get through. It's a lot more like there's just like a list of statements. There's like it's really bad. I'm not sure if it's great, but it's like a statement like they're all like I can statements. So it's like I can. So like if I was in primary 2, it's like I can count to 20 and estimate numbers up to 30, something like that, and then they'll break it down even further, and they'll give you more things to.
Oh yeah.
More like guidance on what they're specifically asking for, and then you just design lessons around that. So it's less like, oh, here's a textbook. It's more like you have to use what they give you to design a lesson and an idea and like a section of lessons, which is what I do. Which is and it's fun, and I've gotten better at it as time has gone on. So.
Syrphx, can you close us out today?